Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, so you've given us this huge pile of source material, right? Covering Salem from September 10th through the 19th, 2025.
Yeah, quite a week. Or 10 days, rather.
Exactly. And our mission here, yours and mine, is to really dig into this swirling drama, all the danger, and just, make it make sense.
Crystal clear knowledge from the chaos. That's the goal.
We're not just skimming headlines. We're pulling out the crucial bits, connecting like the corporate backstabbing with all the family secrets bubbling up.
And it's crucial because this specific window, this 10-day period, it's not just packed with events, it's a convergence point.
A convergence point. How so?
Well, you got these big corporate schemes, right? They're about to crash head-on into major secrets, paternity stuff, a kid's confession.
Wow.
And that confession could put lives on the line. So our focus has to be on understanding the real stakes. We're talking an unauthorized DNA test, an imminent confession about who shot E.J. DiMera, which ties directly back into all that DiMera trauma. And these massive corporate power plays hitting a boiling point, all at the same time.
Yeah.
It feels like this week could really define the next 6 months in Salem.
Okay, no pressure then. Let's dive right in. Starting, I guess, where the money and the trouble usually intersect in Salem.
The DiMeras.
And their relentless focus on their main rival.
Titan Industries. Always Titan. #TagI, DiMera power plays, and corporate espionage.
So first up, Tony DiMera. He's making a move, a calculated one, recruiting a relative. But it feels less like a family get-together and more like, setting up some kind of corporate hit job. We're talking Theo Carver's return.
It's dramatic, isn't it, the way they're doing it? The sheer resources involved.
How so?
So on Wednesday, September 10th, Tony doesn't just, send an email or make a call.
No.
He sends the DiMera family jet, to South Africa to bring Theo back to Salem.
Wow, that's not subtle.
Not at all. It's a very public, very visible display of power, and it's all for one specific project proposal, as they call it.
A project proposal, okay.
Yep.
And the intel suggests, a couple of possibilities for Tony's motive here?
Exactly. 2 paths, potentially quite different. Path 1 seems almost normal. For the DiMeras, anyway.
Which is?
Tony wants Theo to step up, take over as DiMera CEO, keep the dynasty going, fresh blood, that sort of thing.
Seems almost too straightforward for Tony, doesn't it? Knowing him. He's always playing chess.
That's the thing. It feels maybe too simple, which leads to path 2. And given the current climate, the whole Titan situation, that feels much more likely.
Okay.
Tony wants to use Theo's specific skills, his tech genius, the hacking expertise he's known for.
To do what?
To dig into Titan. That's the phrase the sources use. Basically hack them, sabotage the current merger they're working on.
Corporate warfare by proxy, using family.
Exactly, a deniable asset. Why just make Theo CEO when you can unleash him as this sort of, untouchable digital weapon against your biggest rival?
That feels much more like Tony. And, the CEO offer, maybe it's just a classic DiMera manipulation, a head game.
How do you mean?
Dangle the CEO job to keep Theo interested, keep him close, while Tony figures out if his hacking skills are actually useful.
Or extracts what he needs first.
Right. And maybe Tony even secretly wants Theo to fail at the hacking part.
So he can swoop in.
Yeah. Swoop in, say, see, Theo wasn't ready. And then maybe Tony himself or EJ or Kristen, whoever, claims the CEO spot was their destiny all along. It lets Tony test Theo's loyalty and his skills without actually handing over the keys to the kingdom just yet.
That's a very DiMera way of thinking. Layers upon layers of deception. Theo's hacking skills, though, they're genuinely valuable right now.
Especially against Titan. Their offenses are probably geared towards, standard corporate spies, not some high-level hacker coming out of left field?
Precisely. Theo's return isn't just about business, though. There's personal stuff mixed in. His dad, Abe Carver, and stepmom, Paulina Price, are supporting his return.
And he's dealing with the breakup with Claire Brady, right?
Yeah, still recovering from that. So coming home makes sense on that level, too.
The notes also mention potential romance. Ariana Horton.
There's speculation, yeah. If Theo sticks around in Salem, and if Tony keeps playing these games, Ariana is sort of available and in that orbit.
Which would tie him even deeper into the Salem social scene. Could complicate his loyalties, couldn't it? If he gets involved with a Horton while working for DiMera against Titan, which involves Kyriakis, it gets messy fast.
Tony's importing a potential weapon, but yeah, that weapon comes with emotional baggage and potential distractions. That's a risk.
A risk Tony might be underestimating. Salem never lets business and personal stay separate for long, does it?
And never. Which brings us neatly to the other espionage drama already unfolding, the bug in the Titan office.
Right, the bugged pen found in Xander Cook and Philip Kiriakis' office.
A classic, almost cliché spy move.
And Stephanie Johnson is caught in the middle. On Wednesday, she confronts her dad, Steve Patch Johnson. The sources suggest she actually suspects him.
Seems that way initially, yeah, despite his usual integrity.
Why would she jump to that conclusion?
Well, Steve has operated in the gray areas before, right? Especially when protecting family or uncovering major corporate wrongdoing. Stephanie knows his history as a PI, knows he bends rules sometimes.
Okay, fair. But we know the truth, don't we? Or at least the sources are clear.
Right. The sources confirm it was actually Gabi Hernandez who planted the device.
Gabi. And the bug itself, described as amateurish.
Yeah, that's a key detail. Gabi's usually smarter than that, more calculated. A simple bugged pen.
It screams desperation, doesn't it?
It really does. Like, it wasn't some long con planned thing, more like a panicked, impulsive move, maybe after some other plan fell through or she got financially cornered.
That haste definitely suggests she's not operating from a position of strength right now. Her original plan must have failed. So, Wednesday, Stephanie confronts Steve. Now, the big question, did Steve figure it out? Did he suspect Gabi? It's plausible. Remember, Steve had been investigating Titan, possibly hired by Gabi initially, then he canceled the investigation. Right, so maybe he realized his former client was desperate enough to try something stupid, something amateurish, on her own.
Could be. He knows Gabi. He knows her ambition and her ruthlessness when cornered.
Okay, so if Steve suspected Gabi, did he tell Stephanie? Because the timing is tight, right after talking to Steve.
On Thursday.
Stephanie immediately goes to Alex Kiriakis and swears him to secrecy. Total secrecy. What secret, exactly?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? There are a few possibilities based on what we know.
Lay them out. Okay, possibility one. Steve did tell her it was Gabi. Now Stephanie's stuck. Does she protect her friend, Gabi, or betray Titan, where she technically works or consults? Oof, that's messy. Possibility two.
Maybe she told Alex about Steve's own investigation, the shortcut investigation, as the sources called it. Maybe Steve found something sensitive before he stopped, and that's the secret Alex now knows.
Putting Alex in a tough spot regarding his own family's company.
Exactly. Or possibility three, maybe it's simpler. Maybe Stephanie just confessed her own confusion and suspicion to Alex, the whole mess about the bug and her dad, and that's the secret, just her internal conflict.
Whatever it is, by Thursday, Alex Kiriakis is holding some kind of sensitive corporate intel delivered via Stephanie,
who he's also romantically involved with, complicating everything.
So Titan secrets, Gabi screw up. It's all tangled up in their love triangle now. Talk about pressure testing a relationship.
It's a perfect storm, like you said. Romance, a potential corporate ruin. Classic Salem.
Okay, let's shift from bugs to, well, something potentially much darker. The DiMera Clinic controversy. This sounds genuinely ominous.
It does. The sources mention E.J. DiMera and Gwen Ridchek involved in secretive plans for the hospital.
E.J. and Gwen, that's quite a pairing for secretive hospital plans. And the description used is stark. Sick science. Sick science, okay? Chills, literal chills, when you hear DiMera and sick science in the same sentence.
Your mind immediately goes to Stefano, doesn't it? Brainwashing, cloning, creepy labs, unethical experiments. It's their legacy, unfortunately.
So EJ, Stefano's son, and Gwen, who's certainly shown moral flexibility, involved in secretive hospital plans, every single alarm bell should be ringing.
Absolutely. And Stephanie Johnson seems to hear them. She's actually pushing back.
Oh, good. How?
She confronted EJ directly, told him the new clinic must be named after Dr. Tom Horton.
Yes!
And not the DiMeras. Her reasoning, according to the sources, the DiMera name is, quote, pretty tarnished in Salem.
Understatement of the century. Good for Stephanie. That's a direct shot, ethically speaking.
It's a brave move, and she's right. If the DiMeras get their name plastered on a new clinic, it gives them this veneer of legitimacy, of ethical authority they haven't earned.
Naming it after Tom Horton, a man synonymous with integrity. That's Stephanie trying to firewall the place, ethically.
Trying to preserve some sanctity. But there's another layer here, potentially even more disturbing. It involves Marlena Evans.
Oh, no. What's happening with Marlena?
Her weird dreams are getting worse. And the sources connect them to awful, awful hospital plans.
Awful hospital plans related to the clinic.
It seems very likely. Caleb Brady is catching up with Marlena on Wednesday, so maybe we'll get more detail then. But we have to consider the connection, right?
Marlena as the town's psychic barometer.
Exactly. Historically, whenever someone, especially a DiMera, starts crossing major ethical lines, deep psychological stuff, Medical manipulation. Marlena feels it first.
Like with the brainwashing plots back in the day.
Precisely. So if EJ and Gwen are pushing into morally dubious territory with this clinic, maybe genetic research, psychological experiments, something even weirder,
Sick science.
then Marlena would absolutely be the first to pick up on that psychic distress. It would manifest as nightmares, anxiety, long before anyone knows the specifics of the project.
So the corporate maneuvering, the funding, the naming rights, it's potentially causing direct harm to Marlena's mental state already.
That seems to be the implication. The line between Demera ambition and the town's well-being is getting dangerously thin here. It's not just about money or power. It could be existential.
Okay, that's heavy. We'll definitely need to track Marlena's situation. Let's maybe take a breath from the corporate grime for a moment.
Good idea.
And pivot to a secret that's much more personal, but just as explosive. The paternity of baby Tesoro, #2, the paternity puzzle, and the lies of baby Tesoro.
Right. This has been tearing Brady Black apart, hasn't it? The search for the truth about this baby.
Agonizing. But the sources say the walls are closing in fast on Sophia Choi and Melinda Trask.
It seems like a breakthrough is imminent. It apparently starts small, though. On Thursday, September 11th, Tate Black, Brady's son, unintentionally gives Brady a clue.
A clue about Sophia.
Seems so. Something that pushes Brady closer to unraveling the whole thing. He's determined to find the ugly truth, as the sources put it, behind Sophia and Melinda's lies. All happening behind Tate's back, of course.
Poor Tate. And by Friday, Brady thinks he's got something concrete.
Yeah, he takes his suspicion to Steve Johnson, the one person he trusts completely for this kind of sensitive investigation.
And what's Brady's main angle? What's his hunch?
It centers on the timeline. Specifically, Brady suspects Sophia lied about when she gave birth.
The timing. Okay, why is that so key?
Because the sources explicitly state this timing issue is the only reason Brady hasn't given up yet. It implies he's looked at whatever documents Melinda Trask provided, birth certificate, maybe hospital records, and found a flaw.
Something that doesn't add up unless Sophia wasn't actually pregnant or giving birth when she claims she was.
Exactly. He's not just guessing, he's attacking the logistics, the verifiable facts of the birth timeline.
Meanwhile, Sophia herself is. How did the sources put it?
All in a panic, constantly freaking out whenever Tate asks questions or brings up anything that might expose the lie.
Like what?
Her biggest fear seems to be people noticing that baby Tesoro looks Asian, which obviously contradicts her own heritage if she were the birth mother.
Right. And this panic, this obsession with Tate, the sources use a pretty chilling comparison.
They do. They compare her to Jan Spears version 2.0.
Wow. Jan Spears. That's not a comparison you make lightly in Salem.
Not at all. Jan represents the absolute peak of obsessive, dangerous, irrational behavior. Kidnapping, fake deaths, psychological torture, the works.
Primarily aimed at Sean Bell for years.
Exactly. So calling Sophia Jan Spears 2.0 isn't just saying she's deceptive. It's signaling that she's crossed into actively dangerous territory, an obsessional figure who poses a real threat, not just to the truth, but potentially to Tate and the baby himself.
It's a major red flag, a 5-alarm warning, like you said.
And her panic is justified because the truth is coming out. Which leads us to Rafe Fernandez.
Our police commissioner, what's he doing?
He's about to take a massive gamble. The sources say Rafe is set to run a DNA test on baby Tesoro, presumably looking for a match to Tate.
Okay, finally. But there's a catch, isn't there? A huge one. The sources are clear. This test is likely unauthorized. Unauthorized, meaning illegal, obtained without proper warrants or consent.
That's the strong implication. Rafe, the top cop, is bending or breaking the rules, circumventing standard procedure.
Why would he do that? The risk is enormous, professionally, legally.
You have to assume it's desperation. Maybe Melinda Trask, with her legal power as DA, has blocked any official route to getting a DNA sample.
So the system is failing or being manipulated?
And Rafe feels time is running out. Sophia's getting more unstable, the baby needs protection, Tate needs the truth, so he steps outside the law.
The hero breaking the rules for a moral reason, but knowing the potential consequences if the test is inadmissible in court.
It's a huge gamble, but the sources suggest it pays off, at least in terms of finding the truth, between September 15th and 19th.
What happens? Brady uncovers the brutal truth, quote, Tate is indeed the dad of Tesoro, confirmed. So Rafe's unauthorized test, presumably, provides that confirmation.
It seems so. The lie is officially exposed. Sophia, Melinda, busted.
But just as that truth lands, things get complicated again, don't they? Because someone else shows up.
Aaron Green. He's back in town, supposedly for college, but maybe there's more to it.
Aaron, Right. Remind me of his connection again.
He had this long-running crush on Sophia, and there was that mystery day they spent together some time back.
Ah, yes. And Aaron's been acting really guilty around Tate ever since, hasn't he?
Exactly. So Aaron's return, right when the paternity is confirmed, it changes the focus.
How so?
Okay, we know who the father is,
Mm-hmm.
but Aaron's presence, his guilt, that mystery day, it points towards how the deception happened.
Like he helped Sophia.
It strongly suggests he was involved. Maybe he helped procure the baby, provided an alibi for Sophia during her supposed delivery, held falsified documents. Something happened on that mystery day. So confirming Tate as the dad is step one. Aaron potentially holds the key to step two. Understanding the full scope of Sophia and Melinda's scheme. His return forces a confrontation not just with the lie, but with his own role in it. He becomes this potential explosive witness.
And his guilt around Tate makes him vulnerable, right? He might crack.
He's the weak link in Sophia's chain of lies. His timing isn't accidental. He's back just as everything is about to blow up. He could confess everything about how they got to Zorro.
Okay, so one brutal truth confirmed Tate's the dad. But you mentioned another brutal truth is about to surface around the same time.
Yes, and this one involves a child caught in the crossfire. Rachel Black. #33. Rachel Black's dangerous confession and spiral.
Oh, Rachel, this is just heartbreaking, isn't it? She's so young, carrying so much weight. The sources say she's ranting and spiraling.
Completely unraveling and blaming herself for her mother, Kristen DiMera, being in prison.
Which, I mean, given the circumstances of EJ's shooting, it's not entirely wrong, is it? Even if unintentional.
It's a classic trauma response in a child. Internalizing blame, feeling responsible for adult problems, it manifests as extreme guilt.
And she's vocalizing it.
On Thursday, she reportedly tells Holly Jonas flat out, "It's all my fault. My mom is in prison."
Oh, Holly. What does she do with that information?
That's unclear, but the bigger speculation swirling around Rachel now is what comes next. Is this spiral leading to a confession?
A confession about...
Dude?
About the shooting. The sources are asking, will she finally remember clearly that she was the one who shot EJ DiMera? Or has she known all along, suppressed it, and is now finally going to confess it deliberately? That's a huge distinction. Repressed memory surfacing versus conscious confession.
If it's repressed memory, it's a psychological break. If it's a conscious confession,
Yeah.
why now? Is she trying to sacrifice herself to save Kristen?
Or
Just can't bear the secret anymore?
either way, her spiraling state shows the guilt is becoming unbearable.
And it seems to be pushing her towards action because Friday brings a major development.
What happens Friday?
Rachel goes to Statesville prison and apparently completely stuns Kristen.
She visits Kristen. How did Brady take her?
That's the big logistical question. Did Brady agree, thinking maybe seeing her mom would help Rachel process her feelings? Seems unlikely given Kristen's track record.
Or did Rachel sneak off?
That feels more plausible, especially given Kristen's reaction. The sources wonder if Rachel managed it herself, maybe using a rideshare app or something, an unauthorized high-risk visit.
If she snuck off, that shows real desperation and instability. And Kristen being shocked. Well, what does that suggest?
It suggests Rachel's appearance, or maybe what she immediately said was totally unexpected. Perhaps Rachel's about to confess right then and there. "Mom, I shot EJ."
Imagine Kristen hearing that. What does that do for her?
It changes everything.
Yeah.
Suddenly, Kristen has leverage. A huge emotional bargaining chip. Maybe even a path to getting out of prison or a plea deal, if she spins it right, protecting my traumatized daughter.
Kristen always prioritizes her freedom. But her child confessing, that might be the one thing that truly shakes her.
It's a game changer. A child admitting to shooting an adult rewrites the whole narrative. But the immediate concern isn't Kristen's legal strategy. It's Rachel's safety and potentially others.
Because the sources warn about what's coming next week, September 15th to 19th.
Yes, the warnings are dire. Rachel is spiraling out of control. This isn't just internal turmoil anymore.
What does out of control mean here?
It means active endangerment. The spoilers confirm that when she goes off the deep end, quote, somebody's life may be at risk.
Someone's life. And it's confirmed it's not Rachel's own life at risk.
Explicitly confirmed she's a danger to someone else.
Okay, we need to stress this. This is urgent. A child's trauma is escalating to the point of potentially fatal violence against another person.
And crucially, the sources connect this life and death drama directly back to the original trauma, the EJ shooting.
So they're asking the question, the chilling question. Will Rachel circle back around to EJ and try to finish him off?
Oh my God. The idea that she might try to harm EJ again.
It suggests the initial shooting wasn't just a pure accident or panic. Maybe it tapped into some nascent protective aggression towards someone she perceived, even subconsciously, as hurting her mother.
And now, under the pressure of guilt, that aggression resurfaces.
If she truly believes EJ is the reason her mom's locked up, then in her disturbed, spiraling state, eliminating that perceived threat might feel like the only solution.
This transforms her storyline from tragic victim to potential perpetrators, incredibly dangerous.
One of the most critical plot points to watch, especially with EJ simultaneously involved in his own shady dealings at the hospital.
The DiMera world just keeps imploding, doesn't it? Okay. Wow. Let's try to shift gears again. Maybe find some stability, some sense of people trying to move forward amidst this chaos. There are definitely moments of that. People trying to cope, trying to build something new, #tag V, personal bonds, adoption battles, and moving forward.
Okay, good. Let's start with something quieter. A moment of connection built on loss. The unofficial Salem Widow Support Group.
Chuckles slightly. That's a good way to put it. We're talking about Maggie Horton-Kyriakis and Julie Williams.
Two absolute pillars of Salem, matriarchs, both dealing with relatively recent profound loss.
Losing the loves of their lives. Victor Kyriakis and Doug Williams. Huge figures, gone. The sources say they're finding real comfort just talking, sharing that specific grief.
That makes sense. They understand each other in a way few others could, both carrying these huge family legacies now, too.
It's a poignant image. And for Julie, the bookstore she reopened, it's become more than just a business.
How so?
It's described as a nice distraction, something to keep her busy, get her out of the house, give her purpose beyond the grief, which is so important.
Purpose is key. And that leads to some interesting speculation, doesn't it? About Julie maybe helping Maggie find purpose, too.
Exactly. The sources float the idea. Could Julie ask Maggie to come work with her at the bookstore? Oh, I love that. Maggie's been a bit adrift since Victor died, hasn't she? Stepped back from Titan mostly.
She needs a project, a routine, and working alongside Julie, someone who gets the loneliness, the weight of widowhood in Salem, it could be incredibly healing for both of them.
A genuinely supportive friendship, away from all the backstabbing and drama, just two women helping each other?
A truly restorative possibility would be nice to see.
Okay, speaking of finding new purpose and moving forward,
Yeah.
let's swing back to baby Tesoro, because with the paternity confirmed,
He's about to become Salem's most wanted kid, as the sources phrase it. The adoption race is officially on.
and first out of the gate seem to be Chanel Dupree and Johnny DiMera.
Right. Chanel tells Johnny she's ready to adopt, and she has a specific baby in mind, clearly Tesoro.
And Johnny's on board. Totally. And interestingly, they're getting community support. Holly Jonas, others in Johnny's film class at Salem U, they're backing the plan, which suggests people see them as a stable, viable option.
That community support could be important down the line. But they've got competition. Serious competition.
Very serious. Javi Hernandez and Leo Stark. They are also deeply attached to Tesoro and desperately want to adopt him.
Javi and Leo. Okay, this is where it gets complicated, right? Because both of them bring baggage.
Significant baggage, especially in the eyes of any adoption agency or court. Let's start with Leo.
Leo Stark, the elephant in the room.
He's a known con man. That's the blunt assessment. His history is packed with scams, deception, theft, corporate sabotage. You name it, Leo's probably done it.
Not exactly prime adoption material on paper. That past is going to be a massive hurdle in any vetting process.
A huge question mark over his suitability, absolutely. But then there's Javi.
Javi seems more stable on the surface, doesn't he? But he has his own issues.
Deep issues. The sources mention his significant anxiety. And the root of that anxiety is a major piece of his past.
What is it?
He had a child before, a child that died.
Oh, wow. That's incredibly sad. And that's the source of his anxiety.
It seems directly linked. A profound, unresolved trauma. But here's the critical part. The immediate conflict.
What?
He hasn't told Leo.
He hasn't told his partner, the man he wants to adopt a child with, about losing a previous child, not yet. And the sources are clear. This secret must come out before they can realistically move forward with any adoption plans. It's a necessary step. You have to wonder why he's kept it secret. Is it shame? Fear of judgment? Fear of revisiting the pain?
Probably all of the above.
Yeah.
But it points to the trauma being unprocessed, doesn't it?
Mm.
His desire to adopt Tesoro, it's likely driven by love, yes, but also maybe by this deep need to fill the void left by his past loss.
And hiding that motivation, hiding the trauma itself, an adoption agency would see that as a major red flag, wouldn't they? Concerns about his emotional stability.
Absolutely. The adoption process itself often forces these kinds of secrets out. It acts like an emotional pressure cooker.
So for Javi and Leo to even have a chance, Javi has to confront this. He has to tell Leo, deal with the fallout, deal with the grief openly.
Their viability as adoptive parents hinges less on their love for Tesoro and more on their ability to navigate this huge emotional revelation and prove they're a solid communicative unit capable of handling that kind of deep-seated trauma.
It's really a story about Javi's healing, then, as much as it is about adoption.
Healing and communication under immense pressure. It's a heavy dynamic.
Definitely one to watch. Okay, let's touch on one more relationship dynamic. A classic Salem pairing potentially finding their way back.
Belle Black and Sean Brady.
Bon, what do we call them? Anyway, Belle and Sean, they're talking again.
Apparently having a really nice heart-to-heart chat. The timing suggests this might be about their daughter, Claire Brady, since Sean just visited her.
Catching up about Claire makes sense. And their history is the definition of off and on again, isn't it?
Totally. Decades of drama. But the sources always emphasize that underlying deep love that keeps pulling them back together no matter what. They always seem to find their way back eventually. It's like a pattern: crisis, separation, reconnection. And they both had rebounds during their last off phase, didn't they?
Right. Sean was briefly with Jada Hunter, and Belle had that entanglement with EJ DiMera.
EJ. Which, given everything EJ's involved in now with the clinic and the sick science, that fling probably looks even worse in hindsight for Belle.
No kidding. Maybe realizing EJ's true colors pushes her back towards Sean.
Could be. The timing certainly seems right for a reunion. Both rebounds are clearly over. The world around them is spinning out of control. You've got Rachel's confession looming, the DiMera schemes, the paternity explosion.
And in times of crisis, Salemites tend to cling to what feels safe, what feels like home.
And for Belle and Sean, despite everything, home has always ultimately been each other. The sources say they're getting closer again.
Raising the real possibility of another rekindling attempt.
It seems likely. If they can just carve out a moment away from the corporate intrigue and the custody drama, that fundamental connection might just win out again. It's survived worse.
Literal brainwashing, kidnappings courtesy of Jan Spears 2.0's namesake, multiple affairs. Yeah, their love is pretty resilient.
It's a moment for them to reassess who they trust, who they rely on. And that assessment, historically, always leads them back to each other. A necessary realignment, perhaps. Hashtag tag outro.
Okay. We've covered a lot of ground. Let's try to synthesize this whirlwind 10-day period.
Right.
So boiling it down, we've tracked 4 core areas where things are really escalating. First, the corporate power struggle. DiMera versus Titan. Tony's pulling Theo in, potentially as a hacker, while the fallout from Gabi's bug pen puts Stephanie and Alex in a really tight spot. Got it. Corporate espionage heating up. Second, the paternity lie explodes. Baby Tesoro's truth is out. Tate is the father. This definitively exposes Sophia and Melinda's massive deception. Just as Sophia's behavior ramps up into that dangerous Jan Spears 2.0 territory, paternity confirmed, exposing the villains. Third,
Rachel Black's terrifying spiral. Her guilt over Kristen leads her to confront the EJ shooting trauma, possibly confessing, and putting someone else's life, likely EJ's, at extreme risk in the coming days.
a child's trauma turning potentially violent, chilling. And finally, the 4th area. Amidst the chaos, glimpses of new beginnings and reckonings, Maggie and Julie finding solace and potential partnership in grief, the adoption race for Tesoro forcing Javi to confront his hidden trauma with Leo, and the potential rekindling of a foundational relationship, Belle and Sean turning back to each other. It's an incredible density of crisis and change in such a short window. We've hit conspiracies, confessions, traumas, new bonds. But let's end on that ethical knot we touched on earlier, Rafe Fernandez.
The unauthorized DNA test.
Yeah. Rafe, the police commissioner, broke the rules. He likely obtained evidence illegally to confirm Tate is Tesoro's father. It worked. He got the truth. But there will be consequences, right? Legal, professional.
Oh, absolutely. You can't just ignore chain of custody, proper procedure, especially not in his position. We might cheer for the hero breaking the rules for the right reasons, but a system of laws relies on those laws being followed. Tainted evidence is tainted evidence.
So that leaves us, and you, the listener, with a final provocative thought to chew on. When the stakes are this high, a child's parentage, uncovering lies from powerful, dangerous people like Sophia and Melinda, does the end justify the means? Did Rafe do the right thing, even if it was the wrong way?
What happens to justice, to the credibility of the whole system, when the designated hero has to break the law to catch the villain? Can race integrity survive this necessary but illicit action? Something to think about.
We'll leave you with that. We'll catch you next time for the next deep dive.